The apocalyptic signs of the Euphrates River. The Euphrates River is one of the most significant rivers in the world, running for approximately 1,740 miles through several countries, including Turkey, Syria, and Iraq. For centuries, people have relied on the Euphrates River for water, food, transportation, and trade. However, in recent years, many people have started to view the river as a harbinger of doom and a sign of the apocalypse. In the beginning, the Euphrates River was a symbol of life and abundance. Its waters brought vitality to the surrounding areas, and people lived in harmony with the river, fishing and farming in its fertile lands. But as time passed, the Euphrates River began to change, and so did the people's perceptions of it. The first signs of trouble came in the form of droughts and water shortages. The river's flow became erratic, and people had to resort to rationing water and finding new ways to irrigate their crops. Many blamed this on climate change, while others saw it as a punishment from God. As the situation worsened, strange things started to happen along the riverbanks. Fish were dying in large numbers, and the once lush vegetation was turning brown and withering away. The air was filled with a foul stench, and people began to fall ill from drinking the contaminated water. The river's banks became infested with rats and other vermin, and the once bustling towns and villages along the river were now deserted. The few remaining inhabitants were living in fear, believing that the Euphrates River was cursed and that it was only a matter of time before the end of the world. Rumors began to spread that the river was cursed because of the sins of the people who lived along its banks. Others believed that the apocalypse was upon them, and that the river was a sign of the end times. They pointed to the book of Revelation, which talks about the Euphrates River as one of the 4 rivers that would be dried up to make way for the kings of the east. As the situation grew more dire, people started to leave the area, fleeing to other parts of the country or seeking refuge in neighboring countries. Those who stayed behind were resigned to their fate, waiting for the inevitable end. We are seeing many strange signs in the river that could indicate the end of the world, and to understand these prophecies we have to understand why this river is important. The Euphrates River is first mentioned in the Bible in Genesis 2:14, where it is listed as one of the 4 rivers that flowed out of the Garden of Eden. In the Old Testament, the Euphrates River was a significant boundary marker for the Israelites, separating them from their enemies, including the Babylonians and Assyrians. In fact, God promised Abraham that his descendants would inherit the land from the river of Egypt to the great river, the Euphrates, Genesis 15:18. The Euphrates River is also mentioned in many other books of the Old Testament, including Deuteronomy, Joshua, 1 Kings, and 2 Kings. In these books, the Euphrates River serves as a reminder of God's faithfulness to his people and his promise to bless them with the land he had promised to Abraham. For example, in Joshua 1:4, God tells Joshua that he will give him and the Israelites every place that the sole of your foot will tread upon, just as I promised to Moses. From the wilderness and this Lebanon as far as the great river, the river Euphrates, all the land of the Hittites to the great sea toward the going down of the sun shall be your territory. The Euphrates River takes on a particularly ominous role in the book of Revelation, as it is associated with the end times and the apocalypse. In Revelation 9:14, 4 angels are released from the Euphrates River to kill a third of mankind. This event is associated with the sounding of the 6th trumpet. The symbolism behind the 4 angels is not entirely clear, but it is believed that they may represent demonic forces that are unleashed upon the earth. In Revelation 16:12, the 6th angel pours out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its water dries up to prepare the way for the kings from the east. This event is associated with the pouring out of the 6th bowl of God's wrath. The kings from the east are believed to be an army that will come to battle against Israel during the end times. Many biblical scholars believe that the apocalyptic signs associated with the Euphrates River are symbolic of the spiritual warfare that will occur during the end times. They see the river as a metaphor for the forces of evil that will be unleashed upon the earth, causing chaos and destruction. The drying up of the Euphrates River is seen as a sign that the power of evil will be defeated, and the way will be prepared for the second coming of Christ. And you, what do you think about this? Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one.